This has been a tough week for me. I feel like lately all the weeks have been pretty tough. Maybe it's because we're moving across the country. It's just a huge change. I'm leaving the place that I've called home for the last decade. And it's just, I don't know what's in store. I don't know. I don't have anything planned. I'm kind of just going with it, but I am a little scared and nervous. I'm glad to be closer to family, but you know, that's its own set of um, obstacles there. So, and I've also had to take some time off from talking about Sky and the whole Japan situation. I figure I'll talk about it here because this doesn't get as many listens as my TikToks get views. So I guess I can air my frustrations out over here. And I'm not really, I've always been frustrated with the situation. I think it's just testing my patience once more and just complying with the request to just tone down the content and slow down the GoFundMe, even though I really wasn't promoting it all that much. I think just the fact that I had it, they found that a little, well, Japan found it a little, I don't know, disruptive, I guess. Though I can't really say because I have not been able to speak to Japan. It's always through the detective who's talking to Interpol and Interpol's talking to Japan. So I don't know if it's just a weird game of telephone and things are misinterpreted, but I just don't want to lose the chance of going to Japan because I understand the realities of Sky's case, that we may not get the answers that we would like, but we at least want to submit the DNA. We want the DNA in Japan to be run against their systems to see if there's any hits. We just want answers. We're not expecting miracles. We understand. But since the case was mishandled or just dropped, forgotten about all these years ago, I just want to get things settled. I want it finished. And I don't think that's too much to ask. And I don't think I've ever really blatantly disrespected one side or the other in terms of America or Japan. I think it's just a person's frustration being in this kind of situation. I think I'm actually harsher with the American side than Japanese side, but the whole system is frustrating. So I'm still waiting. I will let you guys know once I know more, of course. And the GoFundMe is still up. I'm just not promoting it or really doing anything actively on it because, again, it's just what they're requesting right now. And I wish I could just give you a better reason, but I don't have a better reason because the reason that I got was privacy laws. They don't want, a media frenzy around them because they don't know what kind of answers that they can actually give us. And I get that, I guess. I don't know anymore. I've hit this impasse where I'm just unable to identify what is a crisis and what isn't. And that leads me to this next turn of events. Something that I'm only going to mention here, again, because if you listen, I know that you guys care. Rather than just scrolling through TikTok, seeing my face and just seeing me, unravel. But just last week, my brother had been admitted to the hospital. His health is not great. He is not doing well. He had a seizure while at work. But they couldn't figure out if it was a seizure, a stroke, or just extreme anxiety. Some of the tests were inconclusive. He had sustained some brain damage. Again, the extent of it is unknown at this point. My parents are not doing well with it. My mother is not doing well with it. Since I'll be moving back, I'm going to help them out in whatever way I can. My brother is unable to drive for at least the next 6 months, so I will gladly be the chauffeur if needed. It's definitely not something the family expected, but I guess we're also not surprised. My brother was diagnosed with diabetes in his 20s, and for the past 20 years, he has not managed it. And it's not for a lack of trying from other people, but on his part, he's never had the proper health care. Never had the proper, I don't know how to put it, but being on the spectrum and having a severe eating disorder has left him very vulnerable, and he has been resistant to help, and he is actively killing himself by not getting the care that he needs. He's volatile at moments, and it scares my mom. This is not something I talk about often because it is very personal, and I feel like there's stigma and shame. So that's been a lot. And my poor mom, she just buried her own mom less than a month ago, and now she's terrified that she's going to have to bury her son. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know what else to say about that. I guess I'll see what happens when I get there and how I can help. Until then, I'll be packing. We leave at the end of the month. We're still kind of up in the air about the exact day because there's still a few things that we want to do for my son. Like tomorrow, we're going to go to Disney. And maybe we'll hit Universal before we go. Just things that you can't really do anywhere else but in Southern California. I've been trying to get out, exercise every day, get some sun. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss that a lot. But I also know it's just a plane ride away. And saying goodbye is not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. And I think it's going to be good. I'm excited to be moving into my grandmother's home and making it my own. Making it with my family. I've always lived in apartments. I've never felt truly settled. So I think this is going to be what we needed, even with all the unknowns of what my family life is going to look like and what's the Japan trip is going to look like. I think the one thing I do to keep myself balanced is to keep my expectations low, buried very deep, so that I'm not surprised and that I'm not disappointed. And I'm always on the lookout for the signs of something good to come. You have to do that. There's no other way. And, a dark sense of humor, of course. And exercising. My 3 top things to keep me grounded. Anyways. I still need to actually plan the trip across the country. If anybody has any suggestions, please let me know somehow, some way. Los Angeles to Connecticut. We're planning to hit all the national parks along the way, and maybe a friend or two if we cross their paths somewhere along the country. If you see me, say hi. Yeah, I should plan that, huh? Anyways, guys, this week's gonna get better. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything works out. This has been Therapy Notes, session 22.